So today we're going to be talking about how to get your house actually sold by pricing it right. So thank you so much for joining me today. My name is Amy Brown. I am an associate broker with Next Generation Real Estate Group, and my husband Dallas and we service the Montgomery Metro River region area. So anywhere Montgomery, Prattville, Millbrook, Wetumpka, Tallahassee, even all the way over to Reeltown in the Lake area, we can help you with your buying and selling and investing real estate needs. So today I wanted to talk about how to properly price your home to get it sold. So do you remember the story of Goldilocks and the Three Bears? And she tries out each of the different beds. One's too hard, one's too soft, one's just right. So it took Goldilocks some time to figure out exactly what worked for her. But if you're selling your house, you don't have the luxury of doing that. So we want to go over some do's and don'ts for pricing your home to sell. The first thing is don't price it too high. So when pricing a home, when selling a home, first impressions matter. And when your house comes out on the market, this is your first chance. And it's very important to price it right to attract a buyer. If your home is overpriced, you're going to run the risk of buyers not seeing the listing. So let me give you an example. Let's say you actually want to get 175,000 for your home. But you list it at, let's say, 195,000 to see, if anyone's willing to pay the higher price. The market's been great. Maybe you'll get more money for it. Okay. Well, let's say you've got buyers or a buyer looking with a budget of 175,000, and so they're only going to be looking online for homes priced through 175,000. And because of the way that you priced your home's not going to show up in any of their home searches. So you would potentially miss out on a buyer. But on the other side, you don't want to price it too low either. Listing a home below its market value is a strategy that sometimes sellers will use to try to generate a bidding war to get a lot of interest in their property. And it's also used by sellers who need to sell the property quickly. But if your house is priced too low, you could end up leaving some money on the table, or it could also even turn buyers away because they may wonder, why is it priced so low? Is there something wrong with it? Is there an underlying issue with this particular house? So one thing that we do is we run comps, a CMA, a comparative market analysis. A CMA can help determine a good, realistic price. And basically, what we do is we look at recently sold homes that are similar to yours in size, in the features, the age, and location. Now, if your home is in a subdivision, let's say one like Bridlebrook Farms, where many of them are about the same size, they were built about the same time, we can usually find very similar properties, comp. That can be a little bit trickier in rural areas or in smaller towns and places like Tallahassee and Wetumpka, where everything may not necessarily be uniform in a neighborhood. Anyway, when we have these comps, we'll analyze them. And one of the challenges, that we have is analyzing all these different comps to show the data, to show you how your home is similar and how it's different from the other ones that have sold. Now, one thing you cannot do really is you really cannot go by your Zestimate, your Zillow estimate. And also, let's say when you bought your house, I don't know, 10 years ago, or maybe you refinanced a few years ago, and you had an appraisal done. Those homes that the appraiser used then are not your comp now. So even if those homes have sold since then, or maybe you may go on Zillow and look and see what their estimates are, those homes that were used back then are not necessarily going to be the ones an appraiser uses now, because again we're going by recent sales, because the recent sales are what drives the pricing. Now, another thing to keep in mind is not to overvalue the upgrades that you've done. So let's say you recently spent $50,000 and you installed a swimming pool and you remodeled a bathroom. Well, you're not going to get dollar for dollar back of that $50,000. You can't just take the average comps and add $50,000 to the home, right? Now, some renovations can increase the home's value, but it's unlikely you'll get back that whole dollar amount. A good upgrade is replacing the roof. So if you know that the roof on the house really needs to be replaced, you can just about get all that back out of it. And sometimes it's good to go ahead and do that if there's concerns that it might not pass like an FHA or VA or USDA appraisal. It may have to call in the appraiser may require a roofing contractor to come in and take a look at the roof and make sure that it has enough life left. Otherwise, it may actually have to be repaired or replaced. Um, Another thing is to do adjust the price or approach as needed. So one thing you don't want is your house to sit on the market for a long time because what happens in spring and summer, early fall especially, when houses are moving quickly, if your home isn't getting any offers and it's sitting on the market and now you're 45, 60 days on market, buyers and other agents start to wonder, well, what's wrong with this house? Why is it not selling? So we need to try to figure out by then why it isn't selling and be open to making price adjustments that will fix the problem. And sometimes it can be condition, sometimes it can be location. But ultimately, all these come together with price. So while it's unlikely in a hot market, if your house is sitting there without any offers, it really may be necessary to drop the price. Maybe the market's shifting. Maybe your area isn't as hot a market as it was in the past. Also, want to make sure that there aren't any errors in the listing. So, we'll go back and double check. Maybe we'll refresh the description, move pictures around, such as that. But one thing to also keep in mind is don't let your emotions get the best of you. Now, if you're selling a house you've lived in a long time, or if you're selling your parents' house, maybe your childhood home, it's really hard. And we understand that because you may have a lot of memories of that house. But buyers are not buying your memories. They don't care what you pay for the house. They don't care about how much equity or what equity rather that you've put into it or how much profit you want to make. You have to separate yourself from this process emotionally. When you decide to sell a home, you have to look at it as a business transaction. Yes, you may have wonderful memories there and experiences with the home, but again, once you decide to sell it, you've got to shift into a mindset of this home is no longer going to be mine. It's going to be a house, and this is a business transaction. I know it's tough to do. I've been there before. Believe me, we've done it too. So, anyways, I hope that this is of value to you, and just keep all these things in mind. If you're getting ready to sell your home in the area, like I said, Dallas and I would be happy to help you out. Come out and take a look at your house. We've got a We've got a brochure of pre-listing suggestions, pre-listing prep. We'll go over our marketing strategy and everything, and come up with a strategy to help get your house sold. So, anyways, I think that about wraps it up for today. Thank you so much for watching. And my name's Amy, and talk to you again soon. Bye.